Welcome back, guys, to Exquisite Gaming Channel. I thought I would cover Enshrouded, at least an intro of it. So if you're interested in finding out kind of the gameplay, some of the mechanics, the graphics, a couple of the bugs, some of the things that I noticed right off the bat that were a little yucky still in the game making. I know this is a pretty new game. This game was made by Keen Software. Keen Software is not a huge company. I think they have like $4 million in revenue and 45 people working for the company. So let's jump right in. Let's go through the make of a character. So right off the bat, you can see that I have a level 3 guy. I have about 6.5 hours into this game. I'll be showing you that character once we get through the selection. I want to say that you cannot make your own guy completely. They are actually the presets. You have to build off of them, and they don't give you that many options. So you got your hairstyle, and you have color. Two of the things that I would like to point out is you can't change your eye color and you can't change your eyebrow color. So if you wanted to be a blonde girl, you're going to have these like black eyebrows. I noticed that with the beards too. Your guy's eyebrows aren't going to change with it. Even if you change both his hair colors, he's going to have black eyebrows. I thought that was really strange because, you know, like predominantly blonde people have blue eyes. You can't change your eye color. Other than that, you have 5 female voices up here, and you have 5 male voices down there, and then you got your character name. So Exquisite is the name, XQ is the nickname I go by. I always play on private, and then you got your game selection. When you create your world, it allows you to edit the name. So if you're like a Star Wars fan, you can always go with like Hoth, the frozen planet of Hoth, because who doesn't like being frozen with tom-toms? This intro is actually really long, so I'm going to skip it. I'll summarize it for you really quick. In Dark Souls, you're called a pygmy. In this, you're called a flameborn. The story seems rather similar to each other. In this, the shroud was given by the ancients, and then all of a sudden it corrupted the planet. The world, as you can see, is actually really big. I have nowhere near explored the whole map. It's absolutely ginormous. The shroud actually started taking over the land, and they couldn't figure out a way to fight it. So as you go through this game, you'll find these notes of lore, and you'll figure out that they actually asked someone to build these capsules you see in the background to contain humans and basically save humanity through encapsulating them in time. So I will say I think I have my graphics almost as high as they can go. These lore books that you see here, you'll find these all over. I should say some things about this. In this game, there's a lot of nooks and crannies to explore. There's a lot of like ruins and camps all over this map scattered that have lore and hidden chests and everything like that. It really is a game that it rewards you for exploring, which I really like in a game. I will say one of the things about this game that's my biggest gripe is the graininess of the graphics. So if you see around my player's body, when I move my camera, it gets grainy. And then I noticed also like the fog in the background. You can actually see like way down right in front of my player's face. Right now, that blue fog, you can see the squares that make it up. It actually looks kind of bad. Then I also noticed in these fires, I'm not sure how easy it is to see on your guys' screen, but you can actually notice the little blocks that this fire is made out of. But other than that, that's one of the biggest gripes I have about the graphics in this game. Everything else runs pretty fluid. The mechanics are super smooth. We're going to kind of run through this dark cave really quick. Get some of our first weapons. I'll show you some of the mechanics straight out of the tutorial here. The chests look like they have a lot of detail. I like the way they did them. Again, you'll find lore everywhere. Ladder climbing and everything like that in this game is really well done. The item collision is really well done. The illumination of your torch is almost spot on. It's almost perfect for what a game should be. So I will say the stamina in this game, it actually depletes quicker than I would like. It depletes fairly quickly, and I'm guessing I know why, and that's because the skill tree, you'll notice later when I show you all the menus, the skill tree allows you to increase your stamina by vast amounts. So I'm guessing they started you off so low because they knew that you could scale it so high. The area I'm in right now is called the Enshrouded. You can see that bar at the top of my screen. It's counting down from 5 minutes. And so if I stay in here for another 4 minutes and 20 seconds, I'm gonna die. The combat in this game, if you notice, blocking means a lot. So if you see in the top left, my health hasn't moved at all, even though I don't have a shield yet. That's how important blocking is. It's make or break, night and day. The attack mechanics are almost identical to Dark Souls, if you guys are familiar with that series. I did notice the attack mechanics only have a couple different layouts. You got your small weapon attack combination, you got a large weapon attack combination. I think you have a wand combination. So if you don't know what I mean by combination, like this right here is the small weapon combination, is your 3-hit move. And then you have a staff and a bow combination as well. These guys are your checkpoints. They look really cool. The graphics, the grass graphics look really nice. Like I said, I have mine all the way up. I think default is below where I'm at. Part of this game is harvesting, big time. In the beginning of this game, you will be running around collecting resources like a madman. It doesn't take too long to get everything you need, but you will be collecting a lot of different resources. One thing I like is the rock collection. When you pick up this rock, there we go. So to get like 3 stone, I mean, how easy was that? You just push a button. So right now the game wants me to go build a fire shrine. We're gonna go see if we can do it. Okay, so this is kind of the starting area where it wants you to start. Alright, we got what we need. I really like this. This game, crafting is instantaneous. It's done. You go to your bag, your backpack. This is your, you have 2 tool slots here, tool belts. You hit Alt on the main screen. You can see I'm switching between my 2 belts. Place this down kind of where you want it. And this is now my base. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is jump over to my level 3. I have about 6.5 hours on it, and I'll show you a little more of the base and the menus off that character. Alright, now that we got this guy, I wanted to show you the beginning of this game. You kind of start with these tiny chests or small chests. They have 16 slots in them. It's not bad. The one complaint I have is that to build everything you want to build in the beginning of the game, you need it all in your inventory to craft. Because you have a lot of inventory space, but you find yourself running around with big slogs of resources in the beginning until you make one of these magic chests. You can see I have almost all my resources in here, and that is simply because now that it's in my magic chest, I can use it at any of my crafting stations. You have different crafting stations. This one in particular makes these metal sheets. I think this kiln makes charcoal. This blacksmith makes you know, armors and weapons that I can't make myself at my workbench. So you have all these different item crafting menus. Let's jump through the menus really quick. So you already saw the map. This is as far as I've gotten in 6.5 hours. I spent a lot of time working on mechanics, bugs, stuff like that. I will say this map is really nice. Like the topography of this map makes it really easy to kind of tell exactly where the borders are, where you should be kind of aiming to go. You can kind of see like the points of interest on the map that it wants me to go or explore. The journal, you know, you got your quest. They did their layout pretty good. This is a single step quest. This one has multiple steps. You know, I've completed this one. I'm on the second one. Here's the third one. They did a nice job making that really clean and easy to understand. You know, you got your personal crafting, which you can do by hand anywhere in the world. You have your character. You know, you got your range weapons, your shields, your backpack extensions, which I'm guessing this area is where the backpack extensions are going to go. You get a grappling hook, and in this game, your grappling hook, they made little ledges in this game that your grappling hook will attach to, and when you run by them, they glow, and they have a little action button, so you never have to question when and where you can grapple. They did a nice job with that. The glider is really well done. It isn't like the parachute off of most games that you use, such as Pal World and Breath of the Wild. This glider actually is like a squirrel suit. It's got a little different mechanic setup on it. The only thing I can say is you don't really hover or float like you would in a parachute. This is more of a quick, almost like downward trajectory glider. You have 2 ring slots. And then you have your standard armor equipment. You have your skill tree. There's a lot that I could say here, but all I'm going to say is this looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. It's pretty simplistic from what I've gathered. You know, most of these you can make out for and kind of guess what they are, what they do. Certain skills, I'm really interested in seeing really how they did them. I know the Beastmaster one right here, where the surrounding animals help you fight. I'm kind of intrigued to see exactly how their mechanics on that one work. But there's a lot of these that I'm excited to see. One thing I noticed right away is that it looks like you're going to be able to branch into more than one. So if you want higher stamina on your guy, but you want to be a warrior, you could do something like branching into ranger and getting higher stamina, and then turning around and going into something like warrior, tank, barbarian. You can kind of mix and match these. And then other ones, you know, survivor, beastmaster, ranger, these are all like in the green category. All of these are gonna have stamina boosting stats somewhere in them. So you just have to pick your own path to say, okay, what's the quickest way for me to get a lot of stamina and turn around and be a mage, or, you know, whatever you want to do with your build. I thought it was a really interesting way to do a skill tree. For everything that was in here, they did a pretty nice job setting this up. It looks intimidating, but honestly, at the end of the day, for a game that didn't make their skill tree so linear, Diablo 4, this is a nice setup. This is pretty well done. This really gives you the ability to mix and match how you want. One of the things I want to show you guys is the daze or the dizziness you can put people in. So if I parry this guy correctly, which I'm not gonna. There. That right there. When you parry correctly, it kind of knocks them out, or can. Under their health bar, they have a gray bar that it adds if you're using a blunt weapon, and I'm not using a blunt weapon. With a blunt weapon or a two-handed maul or something like that, so once you break their poise, you get that delay in their movement, and that's significant. Like when you start fighting harder bosses, that is a make or break thing in the battle in this game. One of the things I wanted to show you about this game is one of the mechanics that I think is kind of janky. So you see that table, no matter where I move, it's gonna not really activate anything. This one too. Doesn't really look like I can do much here, but if I jump up here, I can actually get a resource by jumping on it. And again, I can get a resource by jumping on it. So I just want you guys to know there is something going on with this mechanic in this game, because I know if I walk up to this table, it's going to ask me to grab those cloths. Right there. Easy. I have noticed that when you kill people, when you find items and stuff like that, they're just kind of stuck there until you like get on top of them, and then it'll allow you to collect them. If you're ever breaking down a tree, or there are other things in this game that you break down, but I don't want to say too much about the story, they will drop. It'll kind of drop all this stuff around you. And if you try to run around and grab it all, it's really actually kind of difficult sometimes because you have to be like dead center on top of each item. So just be aware that that is kind of an annoyance that they have in the game right now. Alright guys, I think that's it for my intro for Enshrouded. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of some of the mechanics, some of the gameplay, give you maybe a little introduction to the beginning of the game, maybe give you a better idea if you want to buy this game or not. I think this game is like $30 to $40. I can't remember the exact price, but for what it's priced at, I'm going to say you're going to have plenty of content to explore and have fun with. So far, the gameplay in it is definitely fun enough for me to bet that you'll get your money's worth out of it. So I think I'll have a lot of fun with this game. I'm going to continue playing, maybe give like a halftime review. I don't know how long this game actually is, so I may or may not get to the end and do a full review on it. We will find out. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you on the next one.